And here we are with Lesson 6, revisions. There are going to be several phases to revising. Of course, we have conventions, grammar, and those types of issues that we're dealing with, along with sentence structure and things like that. But I wanted to give you a different perspective as well from the book You Can't Make This Stuff Up by Lee Gutine. And I wanted to show you that if you are, unhappy with the content or you're not in love with your piece, this might be a better place for you to start. And also just to give you a different idea of what revising can look like. We're going to start here with the blue highlighted portion. When you finish reading your work with the eye of a reader or your mother, then you can move on to a second vital way to learn and read your work with the eye of a writer, which is an entirely different experience. The tendency when revising or editing is to worry about words. I've been involved in hundreds of workshops over the years listening to people praise and criticize one another. What a great sentence! What a wonderful metaphor and evocative image. We all appreciate feedback, but such responses can be premature. Writers need to worry about the shape and structure of a piece of writing before honing in on phrases and sentences. So let's do another mind meld and study the architecture of the creative nonfiction essay chapter or book. When architects view bridges and buildings, they first try to see them the way a pedestrian might. This is like reading over the reader's shoulder, looking at your work through the consumer or pedestrian's eye. But the architect also looks at a structure on another level, picturing the blueprints of the bridge, its design, the way its various parts came together. A writer works in a similar manner, examining the many parts of the creative nonfiction essay chapter or book, looking for various elements that give the writing its structure. Editing takes place in several places, but it almost never starts with a line of prose, a sentence, or word choice. You may write gorgeous, exciting prose line by line, but if it doesn't become a compelling whole, your readers may not have the opportunity to appreciate your linguistic talents. So consider the blueprint and structure and shape of your piece of writing first. You'll see that the words, images, and ideas will change as you reshape the structure of your piece, so there's no point in addressing them early on in the revision process. You are the sculptor with words. Once you've established the shape of your writing project, you'll begin to concern yourself with sentence structure, diction, and the many specificities of prose. And that concludes this excerpt that I wanted to show you. So just remember that when looking at your piece as a whole first, when revising, it's very important to keep your purpose in mind and that main point that we discussed earlier in the unit, and that you really have that to give your piece more depth and meaning. And after you've established that your structure works, that's the first part of revision, then you can move on to, as it states, the sentence structure, the grammar, the conventional things as well. So make sure that you finish up with this lesson because this is the only part of it. And as always, email me or come see me with questions. Oh, and one more thing, just kidding, I am not done yet. I also wanted to show you this quote from a different chapter. It's in the highlighted part. Earlier in the unit, we talked about the highlighter test and using that to identify the scenes, and you've been practicing that within your reading. So once you're done with your draft, here I'll just read. So after you finish writing your draft of your essay chapter or book, give it the highlight test. If you don't see a lot of highlighted color in the pages of your own prose, meaning not a lot of scenes, it's not wrong or right, but a warning that you need to look more carefully at your work in determining why it failed the test. Maybe there's a good reason. Or maybe you'll have to return to the drawing board and rethink the piece. What are the building blocks or the essentials of that piece? So just another food for thought. Okay, now I'm done with this video. Happy revising.